Hey there and welcome to the Success Channel. At the age of 10, Benjamin Franklin ditched formal schooling to become an apprentice to his father. As a teenager, he didn't really show any particular talent or knack, except for his love of books. Over 50 years later, upon his passing, he emerged as America's most esteemed statesman, its renowned innovator, a prolific writer, and a triumphant entrepreneur. Between these 2 points, a remarkable event unfolded, precipitating an extraordinary surge. This dramatic ascent holds within it a vital lesson, a blueprint for success in life that is not only pertinent, but increasingly imperative for us all to embrace. Throughout Ben Franklin's adult life, he maintained a consistent habit, dedicating approximately an hour each day to deliberate learning. I refer to this practice as Franklin's 5-hour rule on weekdays. Franklin's learning routine involved rising early to engage in reading and writing, establishing personal growth objectives such as virtue lists, and monitoring progress. He also founded a club for fellow artisans and tradesmen who shared his aspirations for self-improvement and community betterment. Franklin's approach included converting his ideas into practical experiments and incorporating morning and evening reflection sessions in his regimen. Every instance in which Franklin dedicated time from his packed schedule to adhere to his 5-hour rule, investing at least an hour in learning, resulted in accomplishing less on that particular day. However, in hindsight, it was arguably the most valuable use of his time. In the long run, Franklin's adherence to the 5-hour rule underscores a straightforward concept. The individuals who consistently and purposefully engage in learning are often the wisest and most successful. Warren Buffett dedicates 5 to 6 hours daily to reading 5 newspapers and 500 pages of corporate reports. Bill Gates aims to read 50 books annually. Mark Zuckerberg commits to finishing at least 1 book every 2 weeks. Elon Musk, as per his brother, was accustomed to reading 2 books a day during his upbringing. Oprah Winfrey attributes much of her success to books, considering them her pathway to personal freedom. Alpha Blank, co-founder of Home Depot, dedicates 2 hours a day to reading. Dan Gilbert, a self-made billionaire and owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, allocates 1 to 2 hours daily for reading. So what would it entail to integrate the 5-hour rule into our lifestyle? To understand this concept, we can look to chess grandmaster and world champion martial artist Josh Waitzkin. Instead of cramming his days for maximum productivity, he has taken the opposite approach. Waitzkin, who also authored The Art of Learning, intentionally incorporates slack into his schedule to allow for empty space dedicated to learning, creativity, and performing tasks at a higher quality. In a recent episode of the Tim Ferriss podcast, Waitzkin explained his approach. I have structured my life around creating empty space for developing ideas, fostering the creative process, and cultivating a mental state that is open enough to delve deeply into the work I do with others in the creative process. It's easy to prioritize efficiency and overlook the subtle internal work required to operate at an optimal level. Adding slack to our day enables us to 1. Plan out our learning. This allows us to carefully consider what we want to learn. It's not enough to only set goals for what we want to accomplish. We should also establish goals for what we want to learn. 2. Deliberately practice. Instead of performing tasks automatically without improvement, we can apply the proven principles of deliberate practice to continually enhance our skills. This involves actions such as seeking honest feedback on our work and practicing specific skills we aim to improve. 3. Ruminate. This aids us in gaining more perspective on our lessons learned and assimilating new ideas. It can also assist in developing slow hunches that lead to creative breakthroughs. Walking serves as an excellent method for processing these insights, as demonstrated by numerous greats such as Beethoven, Charles Darwin, Steve Jobs, and Jack Dorsey, who were or are walking enthusiasts. Another effective approach is engaging in conversations with partners. 4. Set aside dedicated time for learning. This encompasses activities such as reading, engaging in conversations, participating in a mastermind group, taking classes, observing others, and more. 5. Solve problems as they arise. When most people encounter problems throughout the day, they tend to ignore them in order to stay on track with their to-do lists. However, having slack in our schedule allows us the space to address small problems before they escalate into larger ones. 6. Conduct small experiments with significant potential payoffs. Regardless of the outcome, each experiment presents an opportunity to learn and test our ideas. For many individuals, their professional day is evaluated based on their productivity, leading them to rush through tasks and inadvertently hinder their rate of improvement. The 5-hour rule changes this dynamic by prioritizing learning as the initial focus. To understand the implications of this, let's examine a sales call. Note that you can replace sales call with any activity you regularly perform. Typically, most professionals conduct some research before the call, proceed with the call, save their notes, and move on. However, someone with a learning-oriented mindset would consider which skill to practice during the call, practice it during the call, and then reflect on the lessons learned afterward. If they truly desired an extra level of learning, they might invite a colleague to join the call and provide feedback afterward. Embracing a learning lifestyle means that with each sales call or any similar activity, we become better at it. Focusing on learning transforms our behaviors, enabling us to continually improve rather than reaching a plateau. Every event becomes an opportunity for improvement. By adopting learning as a lifestyle, we achieve much more over the long term. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.